Hey, so this week I am carving a Scottish Terrier. And for me, dogs are always a challenge to start. So I'm going to template them. I'm gonna get this thing onto the computer. I'm gonna use my projector here. We're gonna dim down the lights in the shop and we're gonna project it onto a big, beautiful chunk of Western red cedar, second growth that we have had for a while. And I am really excited to get this project going. So it's gonna be pretty much life size. I think maybe a little bigger just so I can kind of like play with the characteristics of it. It's actually a kind of a likeness of a dog who's passed away. And right now I'm pretty much just gonna work on the planning for that. And as soon as I'm done the planning for that, I will start blocking, get it set up, and then I'll kind of talk to you guys about blocking out dogs, thinking about the anatomy of them. And it's a really nice budget for this dog, so I'm able to really spend some time working on detail, the fur pattern. What else are we gonna be working on? Kind of the base. I wanna have a nice clean base, and I've never done a Scottish Terrier before. So I'm really excited to kind of play with the beard they have and that like very droopy fur under the chest and in the paw area. So, you know, it's gonna be fun. Put the log up on the block, which now that I'm looking at that log is very big, so I might have to size the block down a bit. You don't need that much because the dog's not that big, but with this project, I wanna give the dog some movement and I wanna give it like a look. I'm gonna leave a little more weight than I need. I mean, really the dog is like this wide, you know? So if I take out a slab here, take out a slab here, I can use it for something else, and then I can lay it down on there and make for a messier carve because they're gonna be going lengthwise, which is gonna be ripping, but I think it'll look really cool. So I will just grab the two cuts, cut this, and then see how it goes. And hopefully Kevin left me with a sharp saw. Just by doing that, I have, you know, a little slab I could pull a tree out or do like a sign with. This is a flat space because I already milled this. So now, just a matter of like using leverage. So in ice blocks, you know, when you're carving ice or when I carve ice, everything's done with leverage. I can't lift this thing up, no way, it's super heavy. But, you know, you can always lean it on here, get the butt end of it. Oh, hopefully. There we go. And spin it on. Booyah. Doesn't exert too much energy. We have a nice curved spot. I left a little turn here because I think I'm going to switch up the look. I want him to maybe be looking, pause, give it a little body twist. I think that'll be really cool. And there's lots of meat. So now I'm just gonna get the template projected on, and once I have a profile image that fits this log, which is great with the projector because you can pull back, you can use as much space as you can while maintaining the proper proportions. So totally up to you. If you're a good drawer, you don't need to do this, but if you're not a good drawer like myself, I find that projectors are great because you then can work with the scale like we've been talked about in Talks with the Masters with Chris, and I've said a few times, when I go to competitions, I bring 3 sizes of templates because you don't know what kind of log you're gonna get. But with this, I'm in my shop, I'm here right now, I've got everything set up on my computer that I can just Bluetooth connect it, set it right onto this log, project the image, draw the image, block the image, and then start working on form. So after finicking around with it, I think I'm just gonna go with the actual dog itself, the image that I have. And I twisted the piece right there because this isn't a perfect profile view. And in my head, I think if I twist it a little bit like this, it's going to adjust the proportion to the back end because there's going to be something off in here. And I need to make sure that I have the body I have to find the center line right away when I'm blocking. But this will be the form, but once I get the form down, I need to make sure that my head, because there's going to be the head twist here in the neck, that muscle needs to be done, and then, you know, if I twist it, it kind of makes it a little bolder, and I think that'll work. Yeah, I'm gonna commit to this. So I'm gonna get a pen and I'm gonna draw it out. The stupid GoPro didn't record what I wanted to do. So what I did was blocked out. I didn't commit fully to staying right on the lines, which I would normally do, but since this is actually not a perfect profile picture, I left a little wiggle room because really I want to figure out where the spine is and the line the spine takes from the tail to the top of the cranium, or to the beginning of the skull, right in here. So I didn't undercut under here yet. I will. This isn't going to change. This isn't going to change. Why I did these two lines just straight across was so I could get the ears, and I know where the ears are going to be because the ears are going to be the high point where the skull starts to taper down, and like even here, this will be flat, ears will be up, then it drops down to where the eyes are, like this will be that level, and it tapers, and then the next level will be here. So I'm going to lose all of this, but before I commit, I just want to make sure I find my center line that's going to connect it, because this isn't just a regular profile view, this is actually a twisted spine. So once I thin this part back, it'll make it a lot easier. So you don't want to like overcommit right away, but at the same time, you just got to be committed to what you're doing. I hope that makes sense because it's hard to explain. Forgot to put my chaps on. Make sure you wear your chaps when you're carving. All the safety equipment. It helps, especially if you get hit. I always forget. So it's a new day and I'm on the final stages of shaping out this dog. Today it is getting the head done, getting the body done, and detailing the hell out of this thing. I am going to go crazy on detail. I'm gonna finger sand most all the fur, unless I find a pattern that works really well with the chainsaw, but most likely it's gonna be that or a Saburrtooth burr. And using the 361 with a 12-inch Canon dime tip bar, I found it's a great power and it's really good for shaping this sculpture out. It's not too heavy, but I was able to punch underneath, really work the head, kind of capture the neck, and it was great. I really liked using it. So this is a Makita Die grinder with the attachment and a bullet burr from Saburrtooth. They're very aggressive, but you got to use them very careful. And here you can see I'm going for fine detail with the Makita finger sander. So the face is really starting to come together. This piece is actually really kind of looking cool. You know, what's funny is like when you look at other carvers, you can always see different styles. And today, you know, I was a new friend, or, you know, Instagram follower, not follower, just a fellow carver, Jake Swanson, I think his name is. He followed me, so I followed him back, and I was kind of checking out his style, and I really like he sands. You could tell he like sands the tops and then leaves texture with the base of his carvings, and I kind of thought, like, wonder how I could implement that, because I think about Jeff Moore and the way he does his stuff. And if you don't know Jeff Moore or Jake Swanson, check them out. They're both really great carvers, and they have like a definitive style in how they do their finishing. And for myself, I am always trying to constantly evolve. I mean, I've always kind of looked at myself as, you know, Bob said it well, like a created carver. But what was cool about the way I started to carve was that I was able to learn from 18 of the best in the world from from Saw Dogs. And in doing that, I have picked up little pieces from each person. And when I have done that, I think that it's really kind of cool to be able to just, you know, take this from him, take that from him. And I don't think that this is at all Jake's style, but what I do think is I picked up a little something from what I saw from him, and I'm now trying to kind of create that and incorporate it into my style. So, you know, that's kind of the evolution of carving, is looking at other people's work, and don't just look at wood carvers. Look how clay guys are doing things, digital sculptors. Think outside the box. There's so many different mediums that are creating so many awesome textures and styles, and if you can pull from little pieces from each person or little pieces from each style, that's really going to help you find and create your own style. Hopefully that resonated a bit, you know, and from that you can make your own awesome dog carvings, or pick something up from me and make your own awesome carving. So I'm at the final stage right now. I just have to punch in the eyes and then sand the base and then begin to airbrush. I really like the finish on this. I think it'll polish out really nice, especially with adding color. I mean, the puppy dog has like red and you know, brown and black and a red collar, so that's gonna make it pop. And if I could just get these eyes right, should be laughing. Pretty stoked on this. This has turned out better than I anticipated. Dremel 4300. This is the best Dremel by far. You can do multiple speeds. Really works good. So once I have the outer part of the eye, I'm gonna start to set in the eyeball. Now I just do lines and then I carve it away. So just watch this and hopefully it works. So that's kind of how I'm gonna do the eye. If I wanted to, I would do a circle here and a circle here as like a couple of half shells. But this dog has very black eyes, so I think I'm just gonna use an airbrush. I'm gonna flapper it clean, get away all the little fluffs, try and see if it shapes out naturally. And then I will use black paint with brown along the edges and a couple of little white highlights, and that'll be it. And this has turned out quite well. I'm very happy with this dog. You know, it's really cool. All right. So I really like how the airbrush turned out. It's really great. The color, I'll add the color tomorrow and then be finished. You'll probably see a picture of it right now. My name's Ryan Cook. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this, if it was informative, please give it a like or share or leave a comment. And also, if you have any comments or questions, things that you'd want to see, things you want me to carve or talk about while I'm carving, if there's something that I touched on that you want to learn more of, just leave that in the comments section. Thanks so much. I'm Ryan Cook. See you later. You.